All right, y'all. It is windy as balls out here. Not gonna lie, but one thing that it is not is that it's. I mean, sorry. One thing that it is, it's a beautiful day. I'm on the beach. It took me about 20 minutes to set this thing up. Like I'm not even lying. Like all the wind, everything was cooking me. But I just wanted to give you all a little update about how things have been, and a new perspective how to look at the world. Because I know a lot of people. I talked about this in my recent short form videos on TikTok and Instagram. Be sure to follow those if you are interested, and more, daily posts, daily content. But I noticed that a lot of believers they look at this world as if it's corrupt. Holy cow, it seems pushy. As if it's corrupt, as if like there really is such bad things in this world. Don't get me wrong, obviously man has created non-favorable things, but if we continue to look at the world like that, then we'll continue to produce results that reflect that. And what we hold in the mind tends to manifest. So we continue to program our mind to saying that this world is corrupt, that we need to, that there's things that are not favorable in this world, that this man has corrupted the world, this is devil's playhouse right here. And we'll just continue to produce that in our lives. We'll just continue to look at this world as if everyone's judging me, everyone's looking at me in a weird way, and I'll stop taking actions as if this world really is like that. My life will start to reflect that this world really is corrupt. But if I then flip that reality, flip my perspective into believing that this world is God's place, well then it will be. I think it's said in Matthew that here as it is in heaven, or earth as it is in heaven, heaven is as here as it is on earth, something like that. And that made me kind of realize that, like, look, like, there is no hell on earth. That's a common saying a lot of people like to say. And they like to say, like, oh, once, we'll leave this cursed world, this wretched world, and go to heaven and, like, the promised land and da-da-da-da. But I promise you guys, heaven is here on earth. You can look at the beauty of everything, but instead our perspective is just flipped to look at all the evil in the world. And that continues to produce results that reflect that. And the reason why I say that, right? Let's say, yeah, I believe that this world is corrupt. Then if I were to come out here, put my camera down, start recording, I believe that everyone around me, this place is pretty packed. I know you guys can't see anything behind me, but it's pretty packed out here, that they're all judging me. They're all looking at me like, oh, what is this guy doing? Why is he trying to chase his dreams? Da-da-da-da-da. And that was that. Then again, I wouldn't even put my tripod up. I wouldn't put my camera up. And I would just shy away from the opportunity for me to spread the truth, And, I do want to start coming out here a lot more. Well, now, maybe not the beach, because, I don't live near a beach. But just, public places, and start spreading the truth, because this is God's reality. Making myself uncomfortable, doing things that I'm not usually used to doing, and continually being a light for God. Like, I want to show you guys, hopefully I don't mess up my camera angle, but look, there's a bunch of people here. I'm talking like a bunch. And look, the beautiful ocean over there. And yet, if I truly believed that this world, sorry, did I set this up? Camera angle might have changed. But if I truly believed that this world was corrupt, that like this, a bunch of evil thoughts in my mind, well then I wouldn't have even came out here and recorded this video. I wouldn't have come out here to be the person I want to be, But yet, it's part of the journey, and one thing I have learned is that, there are times where I shy away. I want to pick up my phone while I'm on the shoreline and start recording. But then I'm like, all these people are looking at me. I might feel a little weird. I might be a little weird, etc. And yeah, I might shy away from doing it. But I think it's just part of the journey. I think it's just part of becoming who I want to be showing myself that I am this person, and etc. Look, people are about to walk right past me. And it's just part of the game. You know what I mean? It's just part of who I... Yes, I am looking away, dickhead. But no, your words. It's basically me. Don't worry about it. No worries. Have a blessed day. Well, see, look, like, this is a humble interaction. If I would have stopped recording, well, they wouldn't even notice me. It's just beautiful things like that, and just being able to enjoy life, see the good in everything, understand that all those negative things that do happen to us, it's just... Sorry, I need to get close to my phone's in the sun. It's just, holy cow, yo, my shade is going away. Anyway, it's just, It's just a reflection of how we see ourselves inside, you know? That, let's say I was scared to pull out my tripod, or I was scared to record. Then, inside there's a negative belief, there's a corrupt belief that I care what people think, that people's opinions about me matters. And then again, I produce results that reflect that. So I need you guys to understand just the simplest perspective switch. Continually to switch perspective on things from negative to positive, from the devil's reality to God's reality. Here's what makes a subtle difference. You know, the more and more you accumulate that, the more and more it will snowball into you being able to live a life you want to live, be the person you want to be. And I want you to understand all those influencers you see online, all those people doing the things that you want to do. For the reason why I say influencers, because I sometimes envy the amount of not giving a F about what people think that these influencers have. But then again, like, the people who you look up to, people you are like, man, I want to be like them one day, they don't have those same beliefs as you. They don't have those same programs. They have much different programs that make them believe that they are this person, that they are... Anyway, that they are, like, you know, just the content creator, the person you want to be. And so they produce results like that. That's the same way you got to live. And don't get me wrong, there are going to be negative programs. There are going to be instilled programs where it's like, I care what people think. Like, I really did. I really did care what people thought about me, about my YouTube channel. I was scared to talk about it in front of my family, etc. But then again, the more and more I started, I didn't talk about it. I was a little shy to talk about it. The more and more I just produced results that reflected that. So I was like, man, I need to change the cause within me. And I need to see this world as if I'm the creator, you know? Because when it says, and I think it says John somewhere, that Jesus, we can do whatever Jesus can do too. We are who Jesus is within ourselves. Jesus within us, right? And so if Jesus is everything, you know, and we believe that Jesus is within us, then we can do anything we want. We can create the way we want to create, of course, under God's will. We're not going to do this for evil, and it's going to be selflessly, stuff like that. But again, like, if there are desires you have, and there are things you do want, and it's, you know, serving the world, then it's going to happen, you know. Just understand that God's going to take care of everything. And so, yeah, we can create these new thoughts, we can create these new patterns in order for us to do things we want to do. And it's less of force and more of power, because we're not going against the grain. We're not going against the subconscious mind that's saying to us that we aren't this content creator, that we do care what people think. And then so when I come out here, I can't flow as naturally as I can when I believe that I am this person. Let me slow it down, because that's probably a little confusing. We all have subconscious mind, right? All of us. Each and every single one of us has these different beliefs, these different programs, and in those thoughts, in those programs, there's things that serve us and things that don't serve us. But the subconscious mind doesn't care whether what's good or what's bad. It just is. It just starts producing what is. So if we have unconscious thoughts, subconscious thoughts, and programs and beliefs that we aren't this person, that we aren't this content creator, that we aren't the person you want to be, then it'll be so hard for us to willingly go against those beliefs, willingly go against those programs, because our subconscious mind is 40,000 times more powerful than our conscious mind, than all that willpower, because it just is. Like, we are unconscious 95% of the day. And so even me talking right now, I'm semi-unconscious. Like, I'm just talking off of the things I've learned from the past and what I've been studying for these last months, almost a year now, you know? And it helps you use more power, use of God's power rather than force, the ego force, okay? And yeah, you know, I think that's a pretty subtle breakdown of what happened. But yeah, my latest updates, my latest discoveries, you can say, is just, you know, I'm living life. I'm not really caring what people think. I do need water, though. That would kind of clutch up for me, because, well, I'm kind of thirsty. But yeah, I think these last couple of days I have been able to let go. You know, I put up my phone while I was in the boardwalk. Just started recording. You know, I just started recording. Picked up my phone and just said, hey, just started speaking what's on my mind. You know, whatever thought popped up, I'm going to start recording. And wherever I am, I'm going to record. Because it's just a good practice, you know. It's just a good thing for me to do. And I hope you guys can initiate the same way. I hope you guys can start making yourselves more uncomfortable. I hope you guys can start going against your old programs, you know, and start creating new ones. Start planting new seeds. And start using God's power within to allow you to create the world you want to live in. And yeah, I think this is a pretty good video. I'm not going to make it too long, because I'm going to die if I keep talking. And I have some short form videos I want to record. But man, life really is beautiful. And I hope you guys can see that too. This world is not as corrupt as you think it is. Yes, of course, there's things that are unexplainable. There's bad things that happen, quote unquote. But if we can learn to understand that the same old negative beliefs and programs we have inside our minds are in everyone else's, and maybe 10 times more of other negative beliefs, other bad programs, etc., well, then we can learn to understand that everyone just is limited. People who are stuck in those positionalities that are trapped inside their subconscious mind, trapped inside their mind, trapped inside their consciousness. This is getting pretty high level, guys. Stick with me. They'll just succumb to what they believe is true. And so if they believe doing all those bad things are true, or is good, then we just gotta learn to understand that's what they thought that was the best thing to do at the time. And then there won't be so much corruption anymore. It'll just be a lot more understanding, a lot more love. And then the more we can do that, the more we can show them love, the more they can feel love within themselves. And it's just a positive circle of just love, Same way you make mistakes. You just, at the time when you made a mistake, you thought it was the best thing you should have done, or you could have done. And then you look back on it and you're like, man, I should have done something different. You can say to yourself, hey, that's what I thought, that's what past me thought was the best thing to do, okay? And then you can just look at yourself with understanding and love, and hey, you can move on from it. But I hope you guys can take out from that. Life's been pretty well. I've been enjoying my beach time and staying present. I'm still meditating. I might not be reading the Bible. My friend Liam, if you are somehow watching this, my bad. But yeah, I'm enjoying life, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying life too. I'm gonna give you guys one last view. Peep the mind. And look at these, yo. Look at these. All right, y'all. God bless. I don't know if I'm gonna get this out this week, but at least when I come back, I'll record it and edit it. Maybe just be a raw talk. Whatever. God bless.